Here we are, gents. Single wide. The exterior looks pretty solid, actually. My inspector has been impressed with how old it is. It really looks pretty solid. You see, it's built by Skyline, 1977. You can see whoever lived here before kept nice care of the landscaping. It's got this like, what is that, volcanic rock or whatever. We'll run around the outside real fast. You see all the windows. They're gonna need to be replaced. They're basically just the old metal windows. Aluminum, actually. It's got like this faux carpet, I guess, almost turf stuff. You see the skirting actually looks really nice. It looks like it's all pretty solid. Adam, you've been asking about how to replace windows. There it is. You take out those screws and then you screw in the new one. It's that simple. All they've got is caulk sealing it in around the edges. It's very, very low tech. So you see we got a decent sized window, small window, a tiny one that's near the bathroom there. This little door here is the water heater. My inspector checked inside. It looks like we have a little bit of water damage down here and below it, and the water heater itself is 20 years old, so gonna need a price reduction to take care of that. This is an access point. You see the water line is propped on a 2x4. That's not gonna work. And that water, for whatever reason, is dripping but doesn't turn on. So it looks like Jason will have to do some stuff with the plumbing. Foliage is doing pretty well, not too close to the edge. The gutter looks like it could be cleaned. Right there you see there's some, it looks like the gutter has kind of overfilled and the water's poured down the side. It doesn't look like that's too much damage. It's just like a moldy kind of, not moldy, it's just some staining. We can probably power wash that away. The shed is very ugly, but can be washed. Inside it's just pretty basic. You see here we got some green. That's what planted power wash. We got another window that needs to be replaced. This guy is all kinds of ugly, but it is only 12 years old and is pumping out good heat. So should be good there. We'll have to do some stuff with under here. You don't want animals getting under there, so we'll have to close that up. We'll have to take this gutter and kind of run it down a little further away from the house. Here's another access point underneath. This is the one window that has been replaced, and all they did was, you see the flashing at the top, kind of guarding the top of the window. But other than that, it's just caulk and paint and screws, so it's kind of silly. The deck is nice and solid. You could paint it, but I would probably just say power wash it and call it good. You've got a nice siding. Here's outside one of the back door. It's got like this little covered work area. He scared me. My inspector walked out right behind me. So it looks like this is just a basic area. I actually have a installed GFI right there, so that's kind of interesting. The rest of it is another aluminum window, siding. Again, it's just pretty basic stuff. We'll have to replace all windows except that one that they've already replaced. We're at the back door, so we'll just go on in. This takes you into the master, quote unquote, bedroom. This is janky. I usually on my other flips have an an electrician come in and put that in the wall, but it is functional. So, looks like they have these, the wall units right here and here are controlled by the switch right inside. So it's kind of odd. The one overhead is there, but this switch goes to those guys. You've got kind of a double closet right there. Hasn't been painted. You do have some pretty gross wallpaper here that you should remove before you try to paint in here. You can see there's some spots where it's kind of floating up a little bit. Removing wallpaper is not my favorite. It's actually pretty terrible, but if I had to guess, underneath is probably that paneling that's inside right here. Looks like that's the paneling that's in most of the house, but this has just been covered up with wallpaper. Here's your electrical panel. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but maybe Adam can see. It appears everything has been renovated. This one's been added, so it's super sketch, but everything else is your 3-prong. The part that I didn't think about is this trim right here. I assumed that in this house we wouldn't need to be doing any trim work, but it does look like there's some trim that we will need to replace, which shouldn't be a ton. If we copy this type of trim, it's pretty cheap to redo. If we retrim the whole house, that could be a decent expense, several $100s. Looks like this is that paneling, but somebody's painted the hallway white, which looks decent. Coming out of the master, here's the only bathroom. Got some pretty gross flooring, easy to replace that. You got some paneling on the walls and stuff like that. This bathroom really could be renovated and updated for very inexpensive. The toilet is actually clean enough to leave, so we could redo the floor, redo some trim, throw in some paint. I mean, really, you'd want to buy a new fixture there and a new mirror there. You've got enough storage right here that you really don't need that. You could try to do a laminate countertop. I could probably get my countertop guy to do that for just a couple $100. It's such a small area. Underneath here, you just see it's wallpaper for days. All the drawers, you'd probably want to just redo these handles, knobs. It's all very low tech, but it's easy to replace. These windows would be replaced, and then when all this trim around it we'd get rid of that. The one thing about this house that I'm not a big fan of is these wall units. These are the lights, apparently, that these are the lights here. They go to the switches, and then they added these lights here. They go to there. So it's possible that we might bring in my electrician to do some stuff. The issue I'm having is if we wanted to go with this white colored instead of the bone color, that's a pretty significant job. So either we're going to do it ourselves, or we bring in my electrician, and that's probably going to be at least $1,000 to do all this. So if we wanted to do that. Another thing, it looks like somebody put in a light here that's, we'll just say not wired correctly. Just any way they want. So this is the little laundry room. Washer dryer, we're probably going to need to throw in a couple new ones here, so that's a little bit more money. These things work fine though. I say that, but not actually. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's not on. They're not on the tracks, but that should be fine. Whoever painted it did a bang up job, and that's not a compliment. Well, what'd you find in here?
Well, looks like you got dirty filters, bad. What I'm seeing here is the serial number for Coleman. I'll have to look that up, but I'm thinking that date right there is probably the original furnace, so it might be 77. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
We'll just have to see. Let's see. What are they saying here? Duct, energy flow. Well, they did something on the 15th
Of
2015. It looks like April 6th. I don't know. Looks like I don't know what that says.
Cool.
But as we can see, we've got rust. That's just the drip pan, so whenever there's going to be water, you're always going to have that sort of thing. You can see how dirty this is, so it needs to be serviced.
Okay.
Looks like we've got some ants down here. That's just typical. I think it just needs to be serviced.
Okay.
It's producing good heat.
Yeah, that's the thing with a house this price, we're really not going to put a ton of money
Right.
into this kind of thing. But if it's functional and works well, and just we can service it.
16.
There's your thermostat or box right there. It looks like somebody replaced it at some point in time. I'm gonna slip by you real fast, Jeff. Sorry. Then, so it looks like this is our next bedroom. This one hasn't been painted or updated in any sort. All this paneling, it's amazing when you turn the paneling white. It looks a lot cleaner. As you can see what they did here. So that's probably all we do. Unfortunately, again, switch goes to these lights in the walls. So this carpet will come up for sure. Looks like right here there's a soft spot around this vent in the floor, which is all right. This carpet will come up. We can probably lay something right over the top of this linoleum here. Okay, so kitchen. The fridge and oven have to go. Whoever was here previously did leave some stuff. They haven't cleaned the place out, so we might have a little more clean out to do. The knobs are super old. The entire thing is just, none of these cabinets are fantastic, but it is what it is. That is unfortunate. I believe that's just some janky filter. I'm sorry, some hey Jeff, have you seen this thing on the backsplash?
I haven't gone to the kitchen yet.
What is that thing? Just a vent?
Yeah, that's just a vent. Looks like it plugs into here.
Yeah. Just looks like kind of
Looks
a
like
really
it's
janky vent. And you
seen
pull
better days.
You pull the chain, I assume, at the bottom?
Yeah, I would say that's... Oh, look at this. It's manual. That opens up. There is no fan. Well, I hear a fan.
Well, it's got to have a fan of some sort, right?
Oh, it's yeah, you can see. There it is, right back there.
Wow, that is unique.
Yeah, see that? So it doesn't have a turn off. You'd have to unplug it. So to activate the fan, it's plug in, and then you have to manually open the vent.
That's strange.
So I would say that's probably all you have to do is have your electrician mount a switch right here, or wherever. And
Yeah, it sounds like we'll definitely need some electrical work then. Especially with all these bone-colored plugs. I like that they did some of them white.
this is probably not GFI. It is GFI.
It is
Isn't
GFI.
that great?
What about that one? What's that underneath there?
So that's GFI'd also. This is the GFI, so it's gonna also it will be the one that controls everything. So then we reset it. Everything works.
Oh, okay.
Now, well,
Look at that dishwasher.
we won't go into the code into this, but that's really not. You're supposed to have a separate circuit for your small appliances. You're supposed to have two, but that's code issue, and I'm not a code enforcer. I just know that because I was an electrician.
Right. I'm sure my electrician would know that if I brought him in here. He'd probably be like, really, dude? You bought a 70s one? So this is what we're dealing with. It's very basic. We could probably put another door on this side right here, but it looks like they have a door here and a door there. It's kind of odd. But Adam or Jeff, if you guys need Tupperware for your kids, there you go. They left plenty of stuff for us.
Another thing that your electrician's probably going to want to know is you're supposed to have 2 circuits for in your kitchen, and you got 1 circuit. So with the 1970s, it was a code. Like I say, I'm not a code guy. Your electrician will know that.
Yeah.
So right now you have that controls everything. Your garbage disposal, your dishwasher, your lights, everything. So
Interesting.
So if it's a 20 amp, you have everything on. Now I turn this on. Is that going to trip the breaker? Where's the switch?
Nope. Interesting. So the garbage disposal works. That dishwasher, I don't know if you can tell in the video, is tiny. It is way skinnier than normal. So we probably just cut out a little bit here. We should put a normal one in. Living room, we've got more precious wallpaper with lots of crinkles in it. So probably has to come down. Hopefully whoever put it on didn't put a ton of glue on it, so come out easy. This carpet will come out. They left some furniture here. They left some pretty decent shades on all the windows. This is a problem. Apparently the previous owner's son was hefty, and there's a giant dip right here. He broke the floor when he stepped there.
Also,
Go ahead.
oh, I noticed right here.
Oh yeah, we got a little dip in the stuff. That's pretty easy to
I think
staple
that's-
back up. It's when we reach up, we can press it back in. But oh, sorry guys. That is just press. You can just pin that back up somehow. These roofs are known for sagging like that, but for the most part, there's not too many sags in this ceiling. So that's where we're looking at. Again, we have a fan overhead here.
Look at this.
What's that? Whoa! Is that leak enormous? That's
Wow.
unfortunate.
That just needs a good cleaning.
What is it?
This needs a good cleaning.
Okay.
I mean, that's just uncalled for.
So there's no leak then?
It doesn't look like it's leaking. It's probably one thing we're going to do right here. This hose,
Yeah.
we call that a high loop, and we want that hose at some point to be as high as the bottom of the sink. So when that happens, it's not going to put contaminated water or dirty water back into our dry or our clean dishes. Easy fix. It's just a strap, or in fact, right there, as you can see right here, if you took this hose and took a tie wrap, that's your high loop.
Oh, I gotcha. So you just need to.
That's all you need to do is
Get it
elevate
higher.
that to where you can break that. You're going to give it some sort of an air gap.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
This needs to have a plug in it. It's got a hole in the blank plate. You can see that's easy fixed. That needs to really be secured.
So another electrician issue.
Yeah, this isn't fastened. It's loose connection. Easy fix. I don't see anything wet though. I mean, that's a good sign, man.
That is.
All right, I'm gonna turn this on.
All right, guys. Well, we got a 20-minute video, so out the front door. There you go. I'll throw this on YouTube and get a link to you guys, and we'll go from there.